This week's podcast brought to you by the Beefy Boys, three cool dudes hanging out talking about music, video games, and sports, and anything else that hits our fancy.
Check them out at www.beefyboys.com or on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Yeah. If you love their logo, you can buy their merch, www.cafepress.com/beefyboysmerch1.
And oh, baby, you know you're going to find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Find us on Twitter at Beefy_Boys, and you can find us on Instagram at Official Beefy Boys, because it is official. Make us blue check marked, keep following us, and you can find us on Facebook at the Beefy Boys. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Beefy. A good podcast requires a good beer. So that's why I always go to my go-to, Keystone Light. If I'm going to the store, I don't want to buy a 12-pack. I want to go for a legit 15-pack. When I go to a party, I don't take Rainier. I take Keystone Light. And you know what? It tastes so good, I'm going to have it right now. Cheers, folks. Yeah, there's a burp coming in. That's good.
We're rolling.
Welcome to the Beefy Boys Bug Club. We are here again to present you with games, sports, and possible music.
Possible, yeah.
I am here.
There's some music, at least some.
There is, yeah.
I am here joined by our gracious Beefy Boys. Number one, Christian.
he was just pointing at me. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, I'm here.
Oh, man.
And Joe.
You'd think after 50-plus episodes, we'd have a plan for the intro. We don't. We wing it.
We do wing it, for sure.
We got the buzzers back because we got a quiz coming at you later.
Oh, it's going to be fucking great.
Before we get into that, let's talk about the Seahawks, Christian. I know you're dying to rub it in, the fact that they won.
I'm
the
dying
fact that
here.
A shanked field goal in overtime.
I'm fucking dying
and
here.
A nonsense coin flip, because he definitely didn't say heads or whatever.
Dude,
Listen to the
Smeds,
playback.
baby. Smeds.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to tell you what about that game. That was probably single-handedly... I know you're not watching football, which is a total bummer, but that game right there had the ass cheeks of everybody watching in this nation. Even if you're not a Seahawks fan, even if you're not a 49ers fan, your ass cheeks were clenched because that game was amazing. It was awesome. The defenses both came to play, which I told you, the Seahawks definitely needed a defense to beat Jimmy G and the 49ers, even though I did say before, Jimmy G is not the reason why that team is successful. That game obviously showed. And I mean, if you just see Jimmy G in the pocket, the guy is so spooked. He's shaky. He doesn't know what to do. And he throws the ball like shit. And he had it intercepted. He had a couple fumbles. It was just a glorious sight to see. Russell Wilson didn't have the best game ever, of course. But maybe sometimes if Russell Wilson can't come out and play the best game ever, his defense has to come out and keep him afloat. And that Seahawks defense, man, I'm telling you, Marquise Blair was activated for his first game, and Marquise Blair went out there, guns blazing, picking Jimmy G off. It looked so good. Joe, you missed out on a fucking show. I'm telling you. I am telling you.
You won the game because a rookie kicker missed a field goal, man.
It don't matter, man. They still won the fucking game. And going against the best defense in the league,
Second best.
Second best. Okay, well, sure, I'll give them second best. Patriots and the 49ers both haven't played anybody worthy of calling them the best. And when the Patriots finally did play a team that was worthy, they got their asses kicked. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens shit on the Patriots. And the 49ers haven't played anybody decently good except for Carolina. They blew them out of the water, which was a spooky thing to see. And then coming in against Seattle, guess who wins? The fucking Seahawks, baby.
They're still way better than you, man.
I don't think so, man.
better.
No way. At least we have an
Way
offense.
better.
49ers don't have an offense, dude. Without,
Let's look at their schedule. Hold on.
dude, it's no bueno.
Pittsburgh's gonna make the playoffs, man. What are you?
Pittsburgh's
talking
gonna they're gonna weasel their way in, but when they played, they
about? A lot of
weren't.
these
Pittsburgh
teams are
wasn't
bad.
shit.
That's true.
And they've got the Saints coming up. They've got Green Bay coming up. They've got the Ravens coming up. They've got Atlanta. They've got Seattle. They've got the Cardinals. It's fucked. They are fucked. If Jimmy G
I
can't
have a few
produce,
points to make because old friend of the show, Sam Campbell, has been giving me shit on Facebook because now obviously the Seahawks can't finish 7-9 because they're 8-2 now. Sure, they're
shout
8-2
out
now.
to Sam. Look at Sam getting my back over here.
This is the
Fuck yeah.
luckiest team in the NFL, and I have proof.
Gun slinging.
I have proof. Now, Vito, the stats show us the science, the history, that your record in one score or less games, as in wins or losses by a touchdown, is a coin flip. It's pure luck, right?
Yeah.
The Seahawks are 7-1 this year in games scored settled by a touchdown or less. They have only won one game by more than 7 points the entire year.
Arizona.
Yes. They beat Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, the Rams, and the 49ers by a combined 8 points. That's 4 games that they
Hell
won
yeah.
by a combined 8 points. Point differential, that's take the number of points you scored and subtract the number of points you allow. And of course, it just disappeared on me. Where did that page go?
It disappeared because it doesn't give a fuck.
Well, so basically, the better teams score more points than they allow, right? That's the theory here. And the bigger your point differential, the better a team you are. As of right now, the Seattle Seahawks point differential is plus 21. That equals them being a 6-4 team, right? If you do because there's theories out there. Here are just a handful of teams with a much better point differential than the than the Seattle Seahawks. The 49ers point differential is plus 130. So they've scored 100 more points than they're allowed than the Seahawks have. The Los Angeles Rams plus 35. The 5-4 Rams have a better point differential than the Seahawks. This is my point. Your team is lucky. You're not that good.
They have the MVP playing on their fucking team. They're going to win games. So the difference between these 6-4 teams that you're looking up, what's their record? What's their win record?
Because they're lucky. That's what I said.
Don't fucking matter,
They're
man.
lucky.
They get
You
the
get
job
lucky.
done.
You get
they go
lucky.
out there. They go out there and they get the job done.
If that was true, they would win by more than 8 points for 4 games combined. It's
not always the point,
One
man.
score games are luck.
That's not always the point because Seahawks defense isn't.
Your defense is terrible.
Yeah, exactly. But our offense, where's our offense ranked in the league?
I don't know.
Up there. They're fucking up there. They're scoring more than 20 points every game they play. 49ers fucking weaseled past the Redskins, man. The fucking Redskins. They weaseled
You guys beat the
past
Bengals by
Cardinals.
1 point. They're the worst team in the football, man.
That's true. And that's also, where it goes to show it doesn't fucking matter how much, the differential in scores is. If your record's 8-2, your record's 8-2. It doesn't matter if you're lucky or not. The Seahawks get the job done. Russell Wilson gets the job done. That offense gets the fucking job done. The offensive line is killing it. Even losing Justin Britt, they were still able to protect Russell enough to make big plays on Monday's game. Granted, Russell Wilson probably isn't the biggest reason why the Seahawks won that game. I'm going to give that to the defense. But Russell Wilson definitely gave them the opportunity and gave them the chance. Also, a shanked
The
kick.
Seahawks have the 5th ranked offense, by the way.
That's pretty fucking good, baby. That's pretty fucking good. I love that.
You know who has number 1? I'm going by yards per game, by the way. Number 1 team in yards per game. You're never going to guess this.
It's got to be fucking... it's got to be Baltimore.
Second. They're second.
They're second. It's got to be... is it the Texans?
They're 4th.
Fuck. Who is number 1? The Cowboys?
The Cowboys are the number 1
Wow.
ranked offense in points. Right, that's crazy.
And they have a shitty record, too.
But they have a better point differential than you guys by about 30 points.
Don't fucking matter. They still can't get the job done. See, what it comes down
It's
to
just
when you
luck,
win...
man.
What it comes down to when you win or you lose in football, it comes down to getting that job done.
No, it comes down to luck.
It's not
It's
luck.
luck. It is luck.
It's not luck.
100%.
So,
man.
so the 49ers kicker missed it. So they still hold the Seahawks again. They hold them. The Seahawks punt it back to the offense. Okay, so the offense has another chance. Jimmy G fucking sucks.
You're losing the forest for the trees, man.
Sucks, man.
You're losing the forest for the trees. The fact that you're 7-1 in one run games, including 4 wins by a combined 8 points, means you are a lucky team. Case closed.
Means we're 8-2,
Case
baby.
closed.
Case closed. We're 8-2, and your prediction was fucking bonkers. And
You want to get the rest of the NFL chat out of the way? What should they do about Myles Garret?
Honestly, there's no place for that in football for what he did. And the one thing that really comes down to it is the, and I mean, to kind of take from what Pat McAfee said a little bit, was a football helmet is sacred in football. And he mentioned that, there's even coaches that'll fucking yell at you if you drop your helmet. The helmet is sacred, and the helmet is considered it's considered a weapon in the NFL. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
So to take that helmet, granted, here's the situation. Mason Rudolph and Garrett are fighting, but they're on the ground because fucking Garrett tackled him after he made the throw for no fucking reason when they're beating the Steelers 21-7. There's absolutely zero reason why Myles Garrett should tackle Mason Rudolph to the ground. After 2 seconds after he got the ball out of his hands. There's no reason for that.
Vito, I just texted you an article. You should watch the Twitter video at the top of it so you know what Christian's talking about here.
Why
did not a single flag come out on this play? I'm so confused.
It's hard for me to.
I mean, that was obvious roughing the passer.
That's roughing the passer, and the flags did come
eventually when they started throwing punches and kicks. And
I agree with you there. But
the slow motion replay of his neck just like a spring when he takes that helmet on the top.
Well, not only you're getting your head pulled by a dude who's obviously way bigger, way stronger than you are. Myles Garrett is a fucking superhuman, and while Rudolph is on the ground, he was reaching for Garrett's helmet. Whatever, they're gonna duke it out. I'm sure Rudolph wasn't gonna hit him in the fucking head with it. And here's also the thing here. When Rudolph was on the ground and Garrett got up, before the helmet came off, Garrett was literally yanking Rudolph around from his face mask. So think about your neck getting thrown around in weird positions because a dude who's bigger and stronger than you is literally pulling you around like a fucking rag doll.
It is crazy.
And so when they get up, the helmet comes off. And that pisses Rudolph. That would piss anybody off.
Myles Garrett picked him up by the helmet and then ripped it
off. That's going to piss.
Crazy.
That's going
to
piss.
Are you watching the video right now?
Yeah.
Did you see? Wait till the end because they show it in slow motion.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
and
crazy.
You can see his neck spring back.
That's bad, man.
Imagine
and this guy.
He hit him with the padded underside or the lip of it. If he had hit with the top, that's fucking. It's plastic, but it might as well be fucking metal.
Well, it's like.
It's thermoresin. It's the same shit they used to make the space shuttle.
Yeah, that helmet would have, if it didn't hit him where the pads were, and, Myles Garrett didn't strategically hit him where the pads were. He was going to hit him on whatever side the fucking helmet was on.
Yeah.
If it was on the crown of the helmet and it hit his head the way it hit him, that could have split his head open. That could have given him brain damage because the guy is already fucked in the head. He could have died. Myles Garrett should never play another down of football in his fucking life because he could have killed Mason Rudolph. And I love Pouncey's reaction, taking him to the ground, kicking the shit out of him, punching him. Good on Pouncey because you got to protect your quarterback. And that's some bullshit, because Myles Garrett's going against somebody that's obviously way smaller than him. He's picking on him essentially. I don't give a fuck what the situation is. You can never pull somebody's helmet off and smash his fucking head with it. That's no bueno. You don't want to see it in football. You don't even want to see that shit in the XFL, man. And, there's no justifying it. And and to turn it into a fucking race issue is just retarded. Because I've read
What?
that a lot on Twitter. Somebody on Sports Illustrated said it was because Mason Rudolph probably called him the N-word. I highly doubt that. The guy has a team and a whole offensive line that could have heard that. And these guys wouldn't have come to his fucking protection if they heard that shit. And they were standing right there.
Yeah.
Right fucking there. He's not going to say anything stupid like that. He's not going to say anything like that in general. Myles Garret is a shithead and is a hothead. I don't care how down to earth he seemed on
How much
fucking
poetry he
I don't
writes
give
or
a
whatever.
shit how much poetry he writes. Look at him punching Sam Darnold in the face earlier this year. Like, nobody wants to talk about that. Getting under there, punching Sam Darnold after the whistle and not getting a flag for it. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man.
He has been suspended indefinitely, at least for the rest of the year. I mean,
Yeah, obviously it's for the rest of the year. I personally think, and I don't give a shit who you are, if you want to see Myles Garret get back on the football field, you're fucking wrong. Because that guy could have killed Mason Rudolph, and that's not what football needs. It doesn't need that shit because the game is already trying to be as safe as it is, and they've already done so much to make that game safer, and to do that and to pull that bullshit and to allow him back into the league is only going to show that, hey, if you beat somebody's fucking head in with his helmet, yeah, you're going to lose the rest of the year, but you'll be back. Fuck that. I think he should be gone. I don't think he should play another down.
what do you
in
think
the
about these
NFL.
people saying there should be criminal assault charges brought against him?
Yeah, I think there should.
I think there should, but Mason Rudolph didn't. He's not pressing charges. So the police said that if Mason Rudolph were to press charges, then there would be a police investigation.
Yeah.
So they waited to hear what Rudolph was going to do. Rudolph announced yesterday that there would be no legal action taken, so there's not going to be. But then you think about it, if I were to go to a fucking flag football game or whatever, or just a regular old football game, and that's fully padded, whatever, not flag football, doesn't have to be that, but let's just say like semi-pro football league that I used to play in. If I go to one of those games and I rip somebody's head off or somebody's helmet off because I'm mad and hit him in the top of the fucking head with it, I'm going to jail. That's assault.
But if you just textbook tackle someone on the street, that's assault too. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
The venue matters.
But we're not
is my
talking.
point.
I'm not going to the street. That's the thing. If you go to the street, you can't compare it if you're talking about the street because anything could be assault. So on the football field, no matter what league you play in, it could be in high school. If you're a high school student and you pull somebody's helmet off, and then you hit him in the head with it, there could be legal action taken because you can.
I feel it was violent. It was way more violent than your average NFL play. It was not the most violent NFL
Not the
play
most
ever,
violent, not
and
at all.
So it was beyond the ordinary and what is acceptable for a football field, but not so far gone that it's completely unreasonable. Like we've seen people do it before.
You're not sending him to prison.
Now, granted,
Like-
usually it's not. They don't. I've seen you've seen people swing helmets at people who are wearing helmets,
Mm-hmm.
not helmetless people. But this isn't that far out of the norm. Is my point.
I'm just saying, had that helmet hit Rudolph in a different way or in a different part of the helmet and it split his head open, Rudolph most likely would have pressed charges and Myles Garret would have went to jail for it.
Probably.
So it all comes down to Mason Rudolph calming the fuck down from that whole situation, which probably was hard to do, and thinking it over. Okay, I'm still here. I'm not dead. He got suspended. It's, whatever. He got what he deserved. So no, there's no need to bring in legal issues if he doesn't feel like there needs to be. There shouldn't be police involved unless Mason Rudolph brings it to that point, which he didn't. So you have a point. Like, if you're on the field, it's a lot different than being on the street or a lot different than being anywhere else. So it comes down to pretty much player agreement. If Mason Rudolph wasn't in agreement to let it go, but I'm just saying Myles Garret could have gotten arrested for that if he
sure.
did press charges. So it's something to think about. And, it's not the most violent play. No, not at all. But I don't know. It was just something about that Browns team that night that just was shitty,
Well,
I don't know if you
that's the whole
saw
team.
Demarius Randall's helmet-to-helmet hit. That was really...
I read about it.
It was bad. It was just a nasty game. The Browns are a fucking disgrace. And, personally, they're going to get hit with some bad juju that's going to cost them to lose the rest of the year. I don't think they're going to win another game. And that's strictly just because I just have a feeling that if something like that happens, you're not going to win any more games. So my prediction for the Browns is they're going to lose out the rest of the year. And it's crazy, you know, football's really coming around to the tail end of the season fast. Like, I remember when it was fucking September and we were in here talking about week 1, week 2, barely beating the fucking Steelers, barely beating the fucking bungholes. And here we are beating the best team in the football league going into a bye week. Absolutely
Seahawks bye
love
week
it.
this week?
Seahawks bye week this
so
week.
the Seahawks and the Huskies are on bye this week? We're going to have nothing to talk about next week regarding football.
Oh, I'll have some. I'm watching football all day tomorrow.
All right.
I'm
We got
sit
one
home
last
in my fucking PJs
One
and
last
cook food and
NFL
shit.
topic, then we can bring back Vito. Although Vito might have some thoughts on this. Kaepernick's bullshit workout was today. Now, I saw you posting, Christian, about why are the people so mad that Kaepernick's getting a workout? And it's because it's bullshit. Let me tell you all the ways it's bullshit. First of all, why was this not in the preseason when teams were actually building their teams? Second of all, workouts happen on Tuesdays, not Saturday afternoon. No scout worth his salt is going to watch Colin Kaepernick play. They're all at NCAA games. Third of all, this only came about because Jay-Z made a fuss to Roger Goodell about how Kaepernick should be in the league, and if he wants Rock Nation Sports to represent NFL players, he needs to give Kaepernick another chance. Fourth of all, Kaepernick's team says this whole thing is bullshit. So much of it is just, it's obviously a fake media ploy by the NFL to shut up people who won't stop talking about Kaepernick.
I mean,
That's
if it's
what's
gonna be,
happening.
If it's going to be said like that, then don't go do it. Don't do the workout.
He wants to get back in
Stick
the
to your
NFL,
guns.
though.
I understand that. So let him go work out.
But
look,
the NFL isn't letting him.
You have to
though.
remember.
They're trying to
you have to
control the
remember that
narrative.
Kaepernick is playing in the NFL's world. It's the NFL's sandbox, right? And the NFL can do whatever the fuck they want with Kaepernick.
Well, then
hey, he sued him and they paid him. Whatever. Yeah. Do you think teams are going to want to go see the guy that fucking sued them? General managers, do they want to go hire the guy that fucking sued them?
That shouldn't make a difference, man.
It's all part of this world. Hang on. It's all part of this world that's in the NFL. Kaepernick is not in the NFL. Right?
He is better quarterback than
here's
a
what I
third of the
think.
quarterbacks currently playing. And if the teams don't want to hire him for political reasons, they need to grow a spine and say that. They need to stop saying that he's not good enough because that's a flat out lie.
And so,
right?
So they had it set for Atlanta in at the Falcons facility or whatever the fuck, wherever it was. They didn't allow media. They didn't allow cameras. They didn't allow any of that. So Kaepernick didn't like it, and Kaepernick moved.
Yeah.
He moved the workout, which they also could have told him, well, if you don't want to do it here, then fuck you.
They did tell him that. The NFL did not sanction this event. The NFL's pissed off about it.
He still did his workout.
Yeah, they can't stop him from showing off to some scouts.
So he's there. He did his thing. He did his workout. If he's good enough for teams, they're going to take him. He's not looking for a backup position, and you have a point. He's better than who knows? I don't think he's better than half the teams or half
third.
the
I said a third.
QBs. But after that, after his last couple of seasons, after all those surgeries, he looked like shit. Maybe after a few years of not playing, but still saying that, he's been saying, I've been waiting every day for this. This is his day. The NFL granted him his day. They didn't have to, even if it's bullshit or not. They didn't have to. And they didn't have to, and they're still giving him a chance.
Negotiating in bad faith. That's what I'm saying.
And
they don't actually. They're putting every obstacle in the path for him to succeed. They don't want him to succeed.
And they're not.
They want to appear as though they're giving him an opportunity to succeed. They are not.
And Kaepernick is not coming into this league to take over a job right now. Not right here, right now. He knows it. The league knows it. So why not have it? I mean, they're obviously not going to do it in the preseason if they couldn't come to terms with it. So now that they come to terms with it, let's do this before training camp. Let's get scouts in here. Teams that have shitty QBs. Mitchell Trubisky, shitty fucking QB. So let's get scouts in here to come in here and
Jared Goff played like trash. Put him on the Rams.
And look, Jared Goff looks like shit. They've got Blake Bortles as a fucking backup. And so now we're looking like, at least he can come in here, do his workout, put the shit on film, have it live streamed, whatever. He knows everybody's going to watch it. It's going to fucking flood everywhere. Everybody is going to see this workout. I am going to watch the highlights of this workout after we're done with the show. And I'm sure I saw a highlight of him throwing a deep ball. It looked great. He's got the deep ball still, and he always has had a great arm. I think Kaepernick has the potential to be a good quarterback. He's just hasn't played in that many years. You're not going to bring him in here with these teams that have a lot of young quarterbacks. I mean, nobody knew at the beginning of this year that Mitchell Trubisky was going to be as big of a shitty quarterback as he is. So now that they know that, Kaepernick's doing his workout, boom, you bring him in right at the end of the season when they missed the playoffs, by the way. Super Bowl favorites at the beginning of the year when they missed the playoffs. They can bring Kaepernick in, or Cam Newton. They're probably going to go after Cam Newton, which would be crazy. That'd be crazy to see Cam Newton at the Bears. But then the Panthers are going to be looking for a QB because is Kyle Allen the future? Who fucking knows?
What
No
about
way.
the Broncos? Broncos need a quarterback.
The Broncos have a shitty quarterback, and Joe Flacco, he fucking sucks. And, they don't want to be throwing check downs and 5-yard
That's
screens.
what I'm saying.
Every fucking day.
Kaepernick's a proven winner who's shown that he still has the skills. What is the problem here?
So-
He's political. That's the problem.
It doesn't matter if he's political or not. It's just
That's why he doesn't have a job.
He had a shitty last 3 years
So
of his
you're
NFL.
saying if he never protested the anthem or did any of that stuff, he wouldn't have a job right now. That's what you're saying?
He would be a backup.
So then he's not in the league for political reasons.
He could have had a job as a backup as well. I mean, he had tons of places he could have gone to be a backup. He fucking came here to Seattle and worked out. He knows he's not going to play in front of Russell Wilson. So what does he do? He's not going to fucking play in Seattle, so this is out. Seattle's out of the question. He's not playing to be a fucking... And I admire this from him. Because he knows his talent. He knows his worth, more than any of us. And if he thinks he's going to be a starter, he should have the opportunity to do it. But at the same time, teams that were giving him the opportunity to come into their system, which he had plenty of chances with the Ravens until his girlfriend fucked that one up. And then now look, Lamar Jackson, one of the best quarterbacks in football right now. He had a chance to come here and be Geno Smith. He could have been the Seattle Geno Smith. He could have called the coin toss. He could have been 2-0 in overtime for coin tosses. Who fucking knows? But he's not playing to be a backup. And I admire the fact that if he's not going to be a starter, he's not going to play. So he's also, political or not, he's also at fault for him not being employed, no matter how it's seen. Sure, maybe teams don't like that he's political and all that shit. I don't fucking like it because I think politics doesn't belong in sports, but that's a whole different topic. But honestly, to say that he doesn't have a job solely because of politics is bullshit. Because he's had the opportunity. He's had the opportunity to go to Denver, but he wasn't going to get his starting job and he wasn't going to get his starting salary. So he fucking didn't do that. He said no. And they're like, okay, well, go fuck yourself. So that one's out. And then he went to Baltimore. His girlfriend called them fucking slave owners right after his workout. That one's out. And then nobody wanted to offer him a starting position because they all had their starting QBs. And they also, a lot of teams have young players. You've got young players like Sam Darnold, who's trying to be the Jets QB, and they're trying to make that work. They just don't have head coaches that are worth a goddamn. Adam Gase is fucking retarded, and they're going to keep him, so Darnold's career is probably going to go down the toilet. Mariota's career is going down the toilet. Now Tannehill somehow has a fucking revamp in his career. It's weird. But this workout is bigger than anybody can think of when it comes to Kaepernick. And if Eric Reed wants to keep running his stupid fucking mouth, because I think Eric Reed is dumb too. He's like, oh, I hate this fucking league. Gets paid millions. I hate this league. Granted, you don't have to fucking love your job, but you're still in the league. You're still getting paid. So I don't want to hear anything about Eric Reed getting blackballed because he just got a fucking huge contract. I don't want to hear about Kaepernick getting blackballed because he was a starter at first and then he played 3 years with the 49ers and got fucking replaced by C.J. Beathard. You are not a good quarterback if you get replaced by one of the shittiest quarterbacks in NFL history. So Kaepernick working out, getting healthy on top of that. He wasn't healthy when he was playing. and when he was protesting and shit. So to get him back healthy, to get him back, after rehabbing his injuries, throwing the ball, getting comfortable, and then having this workout be put on tape, everybody's going to see it. There are going to be teams at the end of the year that are going to draw interest in this, and they're going to pick him up. They're going to pick him up. He's going to get a job because of this, and it's going to be called a PR stunt again. But listen, if the guy wants to play, he's got to tell his team to shut the fuck up. They're going to ruin his chances. He's out here trying to play ball. I haven't heard him say anything about how this is just a crapshoot, about how this is just a PR stunt. He's just going to do his fucking workout because he loves playing football. Good for him. Keep the mouth shut, play football, do your fucking thing. If they, he can do it. I know he can do it. So he might as well just go give it his best, go give it his all during this workout. He will be getting a phone call. He will be getting a job. Will he be starting right away? Absolutely not. But he'll have the opportunity to battle it out in camp with a terrible quarterback like Mitchell Trubisky or fucking Josh Rosen in Miami or Sam Darnold even or Jared Goff. There's so many places he can go.
Dimes.
So many places he can go. He can go to the Chargers and back up for Phillip Rivers for a year. And when Phillip Rivers decides to retire because he's never going to win a fucking Super Bowl there, he can play for the fucking Chargers. I think Kaepernick's going to get a job. And this is a big issue. I'm glad we're talking about it.
I think you're crazy. I think this is complete bullshit and that there's no way he gets a job out of this at all. I mean, and if what you're saying is right, if that the teams have brought him in and he just doesn't want to accept the terms, then why do we even need this?
I mean, there was over 20 scouts that showed up to his workout.
There were 8.
I said 24 teams were sending scouts.
It was 8. I read it like 5 minutes ago.
Well, then 8 fucking scouts went, and who were the scouts? What teams?
I don't know. I just
probably
saw 8
Cincinnati,
teams.
Probably, Steelers. The Steelers need a quarterback, obviously. Fucking Mason Rudolph getting his brains beat out every week.
He did get hit hard and lie on the ground for minutes that one time.
Speaking of beating people up, have you guys heard about the Mandalorian movie?
You mean the show?
The show?
That was a show, yeah.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, has it started?
Yeah, there's 2 episodes out. Have you not been watching it?
No, I just saw that it was coming out.
It's pretty good. It's Pedro Pascal, the Red Viper from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
He's the Mandalorian.
Fake Burt Reynolds.
Nice.
From Narcos and from Kingsman.
What? Who?
Fake Burt Reynolds.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. He's literally fake Burt Reynolds.
Who is?
The actor playing Mandalorian.
He's the Red Viper from Game of Thrones. I don't know if fake Burt Reynolds is.
Let me pull up his pictures.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal is literally, I think it's the same. I think it's the same person. I think he's in Kingsman. Let me double check because he's fake Burt Reynolds if he's the dude from
fake
Kingsman.
Burt Reynolds, huh?
He looks like fake Burt Reynolds. What's his name?
Pedro Pascal. I broke down and I bought Disney Plus for The Mandalorian specifically.
That's
funny. And because I want to watch Solo. I've been on a Star Wars kick recently.
Dude, after all that shit Star Wars has been shoving out of their asshole, The Mandalorian is a great...
What shit? The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie.
Solo
best Star Wars movies. I want to watch Solo. I hear it's good.
It's boring. I didn't like it.
I've also been playing a Star Wars video game, a new release, Jedi Fallen Order, and it's awesome. It's awesome. It's basically Uncharted mixed with Metroid Prime with Dark Souls combat. And the main character, do you guys watch Shameless? You know the TV show Shameless? It's Ian Gallagher, the guy who plays Ian Gallagher. He's the main character. And it's like his face and body as well as his voice, which is really off-putting. So I've been playing it with Ara.
I told you, man. Fake Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, I see it.
See that?
I see it.
See that? Fake Burt Reynolds.
So we just refer to the main character as Ian Gallagher. Oh, man, Ian Gallagher's in another pickle now. That plant's going to eat him. And hey, that also transitions nicely to my quiz of the week. My quiz of the week is Star Wars themed.
Oh, shit, I'm going to get my ass kicked.
I tried to keep them not too hard, but not too easy. I have no idea how big of Star Wars fans the two of you are. We have never talked about it. So
I told you, I'm more of a Lord of the Rings guy than I am Star Wars.
Well, this is a Star Wars quiz.
So. The Mandalorian was fucking awesome, by the way.
We'll see how it goes.
That's awesome. I got to check that out.
You got to check it out.
I've watched 1.5 episodes.
But John Favreau will do that. He will make a good fucking...
It is John Favreau.
He will make a good good story and a good flick.
Yeah, the game's really good. It's buggy at times, but it's fun. I just unlocked the force pull, so now I can force pull and force
I thought
push.
you were about to say I just unlocked the force skin. I was like, ooh,
Not
that's a
the
cool
force
perk.
skin.
Fucking
There are, like-
rehoodie your joint.
There are like treasures chests all over the place, but they only ever give you like skins. So it's like, okay, new poncho for Ian Gallagher, or like you get this droid BB1.
Is Ian Gallagher the redhead?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
the redhead. Yes.
The one that was shacking up with his bully.
Yes. 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 Yes.
That show is so weird. That show is so
Yeah.
fucking weird. But it was pretty good. It's pretty
Okay.
funny.
So, you guys ready? You got your buzzers at the ready? You
right.
ready
Ready
to
as
go?
I'll ever be with this
Ready for
buzzer
this,
game.
the Star Wars quiz? Okay, so one of the great twists, and there's going to be some Star Wars spoilers in this quiz, that's your warning, of the original trilogy was that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father, right?
Yes.
Except to anyone who knows German, this wasn't a twist at all. Because what does Darth Vader translate to in German directly? Yeah. Christian.
I'm just going to say father.
I'll give you half a point. It's Dark Father. It's what Darth Vader means
That's so
in
funny.
German. So anyone who spoke German,
I'll take the
not
half
surprised.
a point. I could win by
Not
half a point. You
surprised.
never know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys know what a TIE fighter is?
Yes.
What
Yeah.
does TIE stand for? It's an acronym. Nothing? Oh, man. This final score might be 0.5 to 0. The TIE fighter, or twin ion engine fighter.
Nope.
The
wouldn't have
twin
gotten
ion
that.
Would
engine
not
is
have
what
gotten
gives
that.
it
I was
that
thinking
unique
0%
whooshing
thing, yeah.
sound. Wow. Okay. Okay. See how well you guys paid attention to the prequels in this next question. Emperor Palpatine, what planet is he from?
Coruscant?
Incorrect.
Fuck.
He hangs out on Coruscant when he's doing Galactic Senate stuff, but he's not from there.
Fuck, what's that rainy planet? The one that's got the big, it's like the big.
Naboo?
He is from Naboo, yes. You're thinking of Camino, which
I
is
was.
incorrect.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you a point for that, Vito. He's from Naboo.
I got it.
More Emperor Palpatine trivia. Sith Lords, there's only ever two at a time. They call it the rule of two because they always kill each other. So Vader's Sith Lord was Darth Sidious, who is Emperor Palpatine. Who was Palpatine's Sith Lord? What was his name?
God, I know this one.
I have no fucking. The
Fuck,
Hobbit.
what's it called?
He tells a fable to young Anakin
Yeah.
Skywalker about the man, and then it's later
Fuck.
revealed to be his master.
I can't remember the name.
That would be Darth Plagueis the Wise,
Yeah.
is the answer there.
Oh, 0% chance I'd have got it.
I could have gotten that if it was fresher in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you know the Cantina song? That's a very specific genre of music. What is that genre called?
Fuck. I actually
I don't know why I hit the button. It's sensitive.
I actually remember hearing it.
But it's like,
I don't remember.
God, what is it? Is it? It's like
Wasn't it specifically created for Star Wars? The genre?
it's made up.
it's like space disco. I don't fucking know.
I don't remember what it's called.
So it's called Jizz, which is space jazz.
I'm surprised I didn't remember
Is
that.
it please spelt the same way?
Yeah, it's jazz with an I, Jizz.
Oh my god.
Okay. I got a couple more. Okay, more prequel stuff. Count Dooku, leader of the Separatist army. He was a Jedi before he turned to the dark side. Who was his Jedi master?
Qui-Gon.
No, incorrect.
What?
It was not Qui-Gon.
Oh, that's right. It was Yoda.
Yeah, it was Yoda, yep.
I forgot about that.
I'm getting blown.
You're
out.
getting, yeah, Vito's going to get a win here. A win.
A whim.
Okay. In Star Wars lore, what species' home planet is called Kashyyyk? I think he moved first. Let's give him one.
Chewbacca.
What species is he?
Oh fuck. He's
Vito, you
I
get a
know
chance
it.
to
I know
steal.
it. I know it. I fucking know it. Don't you say it, Vito. It's he's a. Oh, I'm so retarded.
Time's up. Yes.
Wookie.
Wookie is correct.
Oh man, I should have at least got my. I'm dumb.
All right. Vito crushed you. I do have one more.
Yeah,
I
say
do
it.
have one more. Mace Windu has a purple lightsaber because Samuel L. Jackson insisted on it. Why? Why did Samuel L. Jackson insist on having a purple lightsaber? Yeah.
So it could match his gums.
Incorrect.
Oh, is it because he wanted to stand out? Because
That's correct. I believe the line was, I need to be able to fucking see where I am in the final battle scene. So that's why his lightsaber is purple, which is fucking stupid.
yeah.
All right. Vito has 4 points. Christian has a half point. So Vito dominated.
Yeah, I got
can't
my ass.
believe-
I'm not good on Star Wars, man. I'm telling you, I'm more of a Middle Earth character.
I can't believe nobody got Jizz.
That's
the band is called the
hilarious.
Jizz Whalers, man.
There was like two. There was like two of those I did know, but I just couldn't pull it from my memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jizz and the
Darth
Plagueis.
Plagueis.
So how is that
Plagueis.
Star Wars game?
It's awesome, man. I was just battling on Kashyyyk just now.
Man, if I had that quiz like back when I was watching all these like Star Wars lore videos, I definitely would have had those.
Well, I got all Star Wars on the brain. I want to watch. Apparently, Solo's on Netflix, so I didn't have to get Disney Plus to watch it. But I want to watch Solo. I got to watch the second
play
episode of The
KOTOR as well when you
Mandalorian.
finish
I
that
played
game.
KOTOR. Old
Oh,
game
yeah.
is old.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's a good game. I fucking love the lore in those games.
Yeah, the second one was not as good. The
Yeah, I don't
first
remember.
one was good. But BioWare sucks now, and I don't want to support them.
Yeah,
'Cause Anthem is a fucking disaster.
fucking pirated. I don't know.
I was annoyed because Fallen Order is an EA game, and I'm like, is this gonna fucking? Because I still can't get into my stupid Origin account. But it doesn't make
yeah.
you. It doesn't make you. Because it's single player only. You can get a double bladed lightsaber too, which is pretty awesome. But it's very much like, Dark Souls combat where you're trying to parry everything, and all these fucking stormtroopers with their like electro blades. Ugh, they can eat a dick. They're obnoxious. It does have this weird thing where somebody pointed this out, like, okay, Jedis can deflect laser bolts back at the people who shoot them, right? So for you as a player, that means you need to be able to react to a laser beam coming to you. Meaning in the game, laser beams travel slower than a bullet would. It's like you can see them coming at you, so you have time to deflect them back. It still feels really satisfying when you
When you
deflect it right back.
hit that shit back to him. Man, there's so many games on Game Pass, and they of course did that right after Rage 2 just got put on Game Pass. I'm gonna have to download it tonight.
Why?
I'm gonna have to play it.
Have you played the Outer Worlds yet? That's like the perfect Christian game.
What is it?
It's like Fallout. It's basically
In
Fallout.
space.
It's by the people
Fallout
who made.
is Fallout, man. I don't
It's
even
by
wanna
the
hear it.
people.
No,
it's by the people who made New Vegas.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Fallout in space.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it might be the first Fallout game I play is a non-Fallout game.
So I've been watching some hilarious videos that Blake told me about. Is this dude who's on? I can't remember his fucking YouTube name. Otherwise, I'd throw it out. Maybe I'll send you his name after the episode. But he makes videos on can you beat Fallout 3? Can you beat Fallout New Vegas? Fallout 4? With like crazy shit.
Like crazy. Like.
Can you
loadouts?
beat it with boxing gloves?
Oh.
Can you beat the game not
Wait, like-
taking any damage? Which
Okay.
Fallout New Vegas, you can do it. It's very specific how you can beat it.
Is this the guy who I saw who beat? I think it was New Vegas without shooting a single bullet.
Yeah, he did it with boxing gloves. He did it with a silenced pistol. He did it with a fucking. He did Fallout 4 not spending any caps. It's really crazy how this guy can do that, and his videos are
I
hilarious.
can't.
I just don't have the time or
Yeah.
the patience to ever
Yeah.
try any of
There's
this
too
shit.
many other games to play. Plus, I have so much crafting to do in Final Fantasy XIV right now. What with
Yes.
the Ishgardian restoration going on.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's like cheating on crafter levels. It's so good. I got like 40 levels in 2 days.
That's crazy. That's crazy good. I thought getting 10 levels a day was good, not fucking 20. Oh my gosh.
And
the
that
dogs
and
are
that
going
was like with
crazy
just a
today.
few hours of play each day because I did it like while I was working or whatever. Or like
Damn.
this morning.
Damn.
Like if I spent like a full day just doing the restoration, I could probably get like 2 or 3 people.
I'm going to have
50.
to do some of that when I get home, but all I want to do is be a Jedi, man.
Yeah.
Be a
I gotta get
Jedi.
that game.
It's really good.
I'll probably get it after I get like the equivalent of Exalted on the Pixies and do
what it's called.
yeah, and do the and get all my crafters up because
There's
I don't
so
want to
many-
miss out on the rest of this event. I
There's
don't know how
so
long it
many like
lasts.
lightsaber customization options too. Like,
Oh,
well, you
that's really
you can
cool.
change the color, so I can't ever decide if I want to be green or blue. So I keep going back and forth. But you can also change like the hilt and like what metal it's made out of. So
Interesting.
I got a blue lightsaber with this cool like blue metal with bronze accents. It looks hella boss right now. It's
Nice.
pretty badass.
I am definitely gonna hella fucking play that game as soon as like I calm down in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I see you on there like every day recently. You've been pushing it.
Yeah, between raiding, pixie quests, and crafting, I've been doing hella.
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 Are you gonna download the Outer Worlds, Christian? It feels like a Christian game.
I'm gonna
you
get
can
it.
report back and tell me if it's any good.
I will.
Yeah.
Now that I know that it's worth a goddamn, I will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
because I keep
free.
getting it shoved down my
Wait, it's
throat. I'm
free?
like, what the fuck?
It's on Game Pass.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's free for you. Don't you have Game Pass?
No.
He doesn't have an Xbox.
He has Microsoft. He has a PC.
Yeah, but Game Pass isn't free, is it?
No.
Game Pass is like $14 a month.
Oh, really?
It's like or actually the last
I
I
thought
paid
it
was
was
like
like 60 a
11.
year. Yeah.
I might have to look at. I might have to look.
I
into
don't
that.
buy fucking games anymore unless it's a release. Obviously, Call of Duty I'm gonna buy. I didn't get Madden. I obviously haven't gotten that, but they probably will put that on Game Pass eventually.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check.
but dude,
like, how
yeah,
that works
no,
on,
I'm telling
on
you,
my
man.
Windows.
It's like $11.99, I think, is what I paid, and I got.
Although I might still have a pirated version of Windows, so I might not be able to get it.
What? Why would you pirate Windows 10? They gave it away for free.
I didn't know when they had that.
Oh.
I didn't know they ever had that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you
know
had
what
Windows,
pisses me
they
off,
upgrade
man?
to 10 was free.
What pisses me off is when I'm writing my fucking articles, I can't use Microsoft Word
Why?
because I don't fucking pay for it.
So use like Google Docs or whatever. It's the same thing.
Like it's what the fuck, man? I thought you could just get Microsoft Word
No.
and plug away.
No, it's
That's
never
like the
been
main
free.
way they make money.
Fucking stupid,
It's
man.
the
By
Office suite,
spending
yeah.
like fucking $200 per pop or whatever on those things.
I mean, that's why
I'll tell them to kiss my ass.
You can do the online one is free, isn't it? There's like the Microsoft Word like cloud. It's like a Google Docs competitor. It's free, pretty sure.
I just use Google.
It's dumb.
Yeah, just use Google Docs. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same.
I just use my
Boy, yo,
fucking.
yo, yo, yo,
I just use my
indeed.
little MacBook notepad and just write them there. But
Well, you know that there's a text editor built in. You don't have to use WordPad. There is a
Built-
text
built into
editor.
what?
It's in Mac OS, man.
what is it?
I forget. I mean, let's.
Well, you don't have to look it up now. You can show me later. But yeah, no, I wrote a couple new ones. Obviously, I wrote the Clash of the Titans at Gene Stadium. Again, shout out to our boy Ryan Judd for the name.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the mobile game. I was like, what? You wrote a review for a mobile game?
No,
I was talking about the movie. Release the Kraken.
but I'm
Oh,
telling
yeah,
you,
that
man,
was a good movie.
once the website
Good oldie.
is revamped and renewed, bigger, longer, uncut. The same articles I write with Blitz will be on ours. It'll have links to both, so you can always go back and check. And then I'm going to be writing game reviews strictly for ours because I love writing in general. It's fun, and then I'll also keep up with the XFL to people
That's
who
good.
give a fuck. I'm actually about to buy season tickets.
What happened to getting a press pass or whatever?
I mean, I obviously would still love to get a press pass, but if I'm going to buy season tickets, I might as well get them now while I have the chance instead of not having the chance and not getting press
How
passes
long
and
is the
looking
season?
like a dildo. 5 home games,
And
10 games,
when does it? What day of the week? They're on Sundays.
Saturday, Sunday.
So like that's 5 extra weeks that we're gonna have to work around your football schedule. Lame.
It's gonna be.
Assuming the XFL makes it the whole first season, unlike the.
I think it will.
Oh my God! Why can I not remember
The Allegiance,
AAF?
the AAF. You know what's funny about the AAF is, so when the XFL came out in the early 2000s, and when it failed, the one of the guys that was working with Vince McMahon, when they were talking about rebooting the XFL, like about 4 years ago, they started discussing it, and I can't remember his name. But I'm sure we could look it up and find out. So they got into a disagreement with each other, and Vince McMahon was like, "No, we're not going to just abruptly start the XFL and get this shit going. We have to actually make this a thing, plan it out, have it be funded properly." So guess what the guy does? This is going to be hilarious. He fucking leaves Vince McMahon's team. Goes and starts the Alliance Football League of America and fucking loses all of his money and his league plummets while the XFL and Vince McMahon do things differently and have a draft. They're having another draft coming up for players that...
They already had a draft.
It's a supplemental. I don't know what the fuck kind of draft it is, but it's for an extra 200 players to come into the league. So it's good, man. Look
Do
at
they
how
have
much,
a TV deal?
how many fucking I think they're going to be on Fox. On Fox and CBS.
Did you do who are the big names? The big name players?
Any big Cardale Jones is one of them.
That's the big name
That's
player.
not a big name. That's not a big name, but I mean right off the bat, he's one that I can think of. You know, there's a lot of Huskies going to the XFL, too. There's a lot of Huskies going to the Dragons. Shane Bowman from the Huskies is going to the Dragons.
These are not big
Levon
names.
Coleman's going to the Dragons.
These are not big names.
Fucking sweet. And,
you were telling me like Jake Locker. That would be a big name.
well, Jake Locker's retired, man. He's never going to play football again.
Andrew Luck.
That would be some shit. If he leaves the Colts to go fucking win a championship in the XFL, that'd be nuts.
Trent Richardson is coming back
Trent
again.
Richardson didn't get invited. He sucks, man. Trent Richardson's terrible.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find any like a good little list here, because there's so many fucking players that got picked. Let me see.
So one of the cool things in Jedi Fallen Order is you can slice anything in half, like lengthwise, as long as it's an alien, an animal, or a robot. People don't get dismembered, which is actually kind of off-putting, because like the finishing blow against like a giant insect or a big rat will always cut something off, but against a stormtrooper, they just kind of fall over. It's like, okay.
It's probably to avoid too high of a rating.
And it's a Disney property for children,
Yeah.
so they probably don't want you to cut people in half. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
Connor Cooks is one.
Okay.
He was a QB
In a playoff game for the Raiders.
Yep.
Yes.
And then Jalen Rowell, Air Force wide receiver. That guy, he's got one hell of a tape. It's
No idea
awesome.
who that is. So.
Here's another big hit. Roberto Aguayo.
Okay.
Vontae Jackson,
Your biggest
running
name
back.
is the kicker.
Vontae Jackson, running back from West Georgia. He played for the fucking Denver Broncos. Trey Caldwell, cornerback. Joe Callahan. Oh, fuck.
Joe Flacco should sign with the XFL, man.
Honestly, if Kaepernick doesn't get a job, he should go to the XFL. He should.
Yeah. Vince
but yeah.
McMahon loves Trump more than the fucking Goodell does, man. They're never hiring him.
There's so many, like, it's crazy when you see, because you think teams like Alabama and Ohio State and all that, they have so much talent on their teams year round. Every season they have deep, deep, deep rosters.
What do you think are the chances that Alabama doesn't make the playoffs?
They're not making the playoffs. No way in hell.
Something might happen.
Tua's out for the year. They're going to have to
yeah.
play LSU again. They're going to
about
shit
that.
all over them. They're out of the playoffs. Georgia's going to be out of the playoffs.
So who's
Oregon's
going to sneak in then?
Oregon or Utah if they win out. So if Utah wins out the Pac-12 and they beat Oregon in the Pac-12 championship.
So you're telling me if Baylor goes undefeated in the Big 12, they're not going to make it?
I would love to see Baylor go in, but the only problem is Baylor has zero defense and they would get fucking demolished.
Doesn't matter. If they go undefeated in the Big 12, they're going to make it.
They should be undefeated.
They should be higher than they are.
I think any undefeated team should be in the playoffs.
I've been saying that for years.
And I the talks will come of extending the playoffs because as of right now, it's literally just an SEC cesspool. But
plus Ohio State and Clemson.
Yeah. But Clemson isn't even in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, they are.
They're not out, man, or they're not going to be in because if Georgia wins out, they're going to let Georgia go in over Clemson.
Georgia and Clemson are both in right now.
So
it's LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia.
Ohio State will be number one. Or sorry, LSU. Now that Tua Tagovailoa or whatever the fuck his name is out.
You look like you're from the islands. You need to get better at pronouncing
LSU will
Samoan
beat
names, man.
Alabama in the championship, in the SEC championship. And then they're going to be number one going into the playoffs. Number two is going to be hasn't played anybody good, but has been beating teams. I think their score overall different. If you want to get that numbers out, I think they've outscored every opponent they've played by at least 30 or more points, even though they haven't played anybody good. Ohio State. But here's the thing about Ohio State. Look, they haven't played anybody good. I understand that. Huge. But when you're dropping 58 to 70 fucking points every game you play, you're spooky. When you have a roster as deep as they do, it's spooky. Vito, I haven't seen a college team like Ohio State in a long time. The only reason why LSU is above them is because they've played better teams.
Your top four right now are LSU, OSU, Clemson, and Georgia, man.
Clemson or Georgia, I don't think are going to make the playoffs.
What?
I don't think
Clemson's
they're going to make the
undefeated.
playoffs. Well, Georgia shouldn't make the playoffs regardless. They lost to fucking South Carolina, who is one of the worst football teams in the country. So
but
they shouldn't be in.
There needs to be two SEC teams at all times.
So they shouldn't be in.
So that's going to be Alabama.
Alabama won't make it if they lose twice, especially against LSU. They won't make it at all. So
Minnesota's undefeated.
whoever
in the
wins
Big
the
Ten,
Pac, here's the way that I see it. Whoever goes undefeated in the Pac, or not undefeated, but whoever wins out in the Pac-12 and takes the Pac-12 is going to the playoffs. They're a divisional winner. They're going to take it, and I hope it's Utah.
Their highest ranked team is number 6, man. They ain't going to make it. There's too many things in the way.
But there's still some football to be played, and we'll see how it goes. But I don't think Clemson will be in there. Of course, I don't know. I was stupid to say they aren't going to make it, but they're going to get demolished by Ohio State, and Georgia will not be in the playoffs much longer. It would be really cool, man, if Baylor could sneak in there, or if one of those undefeated teams, or Minnesota, man. What the fuck? Why aren't they being considered? They shit on the Nittany Lions. They fucking killed them. And it was supposed to be a primetime game, but somebody didn't agree to it, and it wasn't Minnesota. So, look, the Nittany Lions got fucking demolished.
They just lost, though.
Who?
Minnesota.
No way. No fucking way.
Iowa, yeah.
I forgot that it was Saturday. It feels like a Tuesday in here. Still dressed in my goddamn suit.
So done. Let's see. What about the other team here?
Yeah, they're out. They're out.
Baylor.
Who beat them?
Iowa.
Oof. Iowa is a killer.
Oh, Baylor and Oklahoma are playing today.
That's a nighttime game?
I don't know.
I'll be watching that game. I want Baylor to beat Oklahoma.
I will not. I'm going to go home and play some Star Wars until my wife gets annoyed, and then I'll just go craft up a storm in Final Fantasy XIV.
Sadly, to answer Tim's question on Facebook, for all the New Jersey folks.
By the way, Christian posted asking for questions, and the one question was like, tell us about Christian's butthole.
To answer the New Jersey folks' questions, especially you, Tim, since I am on keto, the diarrhea has been extreme. I will not go into more of that just because it's miserable. I wear a suit 6 days a week now, and I sweat through my suit jacket because I have the poop shivers. Anyway.
Why don't you go poop?
I do. Like fucking 12 times a day.
Damn.
I'm an animal. I'm literally shedding.
Gonna get some fiber in you, make you more regular.
Yeah.
It's probably true. But
Yeah, I mean,
anyway.
I also heard that keto, just like a lot of other diets, just like isn't very good for you. And
I mean, no diet's good for you long term, but
and
if you do
there's,
it short term.
ways to lose weight that don't include like weird diets.
Oh, granted, there's always ways to lose weight. This one's a very effective way to lose weight. You just have to be focused, stay on top of it, do it for about maybe at tops 2 to 3 months, and you'll be right where you want. And then from there, then you can do your own ways without having freaky diets and shit that'll fuck you up in the long term. But if you do keto for a long time, you're going to start pissing stones. So you can't do that for a long time, but you can do it for, I can do it for like 2 or 3 months. But it's good. It's good. Week 1's almost done.
How long are you planning on doing it?
I'm going to do it until I go to California to see Sunday night football.
When is that?
December 8th
Okay, that's a few weeks from now.
against the Rams. And probably when I come back, maybe another month or two.
After you come back another month or two? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've got a big goal. I've got a huge goal, but I'm not sharing it with nobody. Keeping it to myself. Just so I don't get discouraged. Boom. I'm going to download Outer Worlds, man. I'm thinking about that shit. I want to play it. But if Baylor is playing Oklahoma, I'm going to have to just download it while I watch that game.
You don't have to do it today. You could do it... you could download... Yeah.
Here's a great thing, though.
I've
got tomorrow off, which will be, reserved for the NFL. But then once that's over, I won't have anything. And then Tuesday, I'll be off work. So I'll play it all Tuesday. And I'll give you guys a fresh fucking deuce of knowledge coming from that game.
The deuce of knowledge.
I'll also play Rage 2. I'll probably download that, play that when I get bored with Outer Worlds. But dude, I mean, honestly, if that team is made by fucking Fallout New Vegas, I might be stuck on... I'm scared to play it.
Man.
Why? Because I might be fucking stuck on that game for decades.
What else you got to play right now?
I literally just re-downloaded New Vegas on the Xbox.
Yeah, see, because you got nothing to play right now, so...
But I'm playing Modern Warfare.
You got to be done with the campaign by now.
Of Modern Warfare? I haven't even touched it.
Oh, so whatever. There's
That's for like a rainy day. That's for like a rainy day when I'm off and I don't feel like doing anything. No football. I'm saving that for no football for sure.
I feel like there's two styles of video game. I tried to convince my wife the same thing about television shows, that there's TV and then there's bedtime TV, which is the popcorn nonsense show you've watched a million times that you don't have to pay attention to just so something's on while you fall asleep, right?
Yep.
Video games are the same way. There's the game you're playing, and then there's the mindless game you play when you get home from a long day at work and you just need to unwind. That's Modern Warfare for you. But the game you're playing that has like a narrative to tell and actually involves using your brain to solve puzzles and shit, you don't have one of those right now because you're only playing Modern Warfare. That's what I'm saying. So like I'm playing this Jedi game. But then when I need to unwind my brain before bed, I go and I smoke a bowl and I drink a beer and I just go craft up a storm in Final Fantasy. Sometimes while I do that, like if I set my character to make 99 ingots, I turn on Madden at the same time. Because I got my other PlayStation right next to my laptop.
I really want to get Madden 20 because I want a new Madden, but at the same time, I'm probably
you have 19.
just going to fucking wait. Yeah. I deleted Madden 19.
At least wait for sales.
It.
Wait for Black Friday sales, man.
So I got rid of Madden 19, and I think I'm going to play 18.
I hope you still have an Origin login that's not hacked.
18 wasn't Origin, was it?
Yes, it was.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that. By the way, there's loud fucking Disney music. If that's getting picked up, I know Walt Disney's dead, but I know Walt Disney's a big fan of suing the fuck out of anybody.
I can't hear any music.
Okay, good, because
I thought you were gonna say the dogs. They're going nuts.
We're not going against. We're not going to legal war against Walt Disney, or we will be fucking Jeffrey Epstein. So I'm not going to have that in the microphone. So,
Boy, yoing, indeed.
Boy. Well, Vito, I'm glad you were able to take a fucking championship for once. Jesus, you finally won the quiz. I was blowing you out for weeks, but now you finally beat
One with a buzzer,
LSU
too,
came
man.
into my home and he beat me on my turf.
I think it's literally when it comes to those like reaction games, the buzzer. It has to be a game where you just don't know anything in order for me to get it.
Star Wars, man.
Because if we both know it, you're going to get it because you're faster in the buzzer.
I can't believe he didn't know Chewbacca was a Wookiee.
I did know Chewbacca was a fucking Wookiee. I did know that. But the only problem is when I said Chewbacca, all I had in my head was Yeti or fucking beast, monster.
He's a beast.
And I'm like, God damn it. So now I spaced out on Wookiee.
Hey, speaking of beasts, the X-Men 90s cartoon is on Disney Plus if you have any interest in that television program. All right, let's wrap up.
All right, folks. Like our good friends over there at Lifestyles Condoms, we're going to wrap this shit up and we're going to send it into another week. We hope that you enjoyed hanging out with us. Tim, I hope you enjoyed hearing about my constant diarrhea.
About your butt stuff?
And everybody, I hope that you had fun this episode. I know we got a little bit crazy with the NFL, and it's, the craziness is coming because playoffs.
I took a pretty good nap.
Playoffs are coming.
Playoffs.
C-U-M.
Don't talk about playoffs.
Playoffs are coming.
Playoffs.
Seahawks will be in the playoffs. The 49ers will be in the playoffs. It's going to be a fucking amazing time. Amazing. I love you guys. I love fucking football. All right, I'm out of here. I'm in a full suit. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. I got a diarrhea more.
All right.
Wrap it up.
Later.